Mark Hyman, Food Fix, How to Save Our Health, Our Economy, Our Communities, and Our Planet One Bite at a Time. Welcome to the fascinating world of A Food Fix, How to Save Our Health, Our Economy, Our Communities, and Our Planet One Bite at a Time by Mark Hyman. In this summary, we'll explore the critical issues that revolve around our food system and its impact on health, economy, and the environment. Unravel how some of the gravest problems we face as a species can be linked to our food choices, with deep scrutiny on the factors behind chronic diseases, inequality, the damage caused by big agribusiness, and the consequences of intensive farming. This summary will provide valuable insights into sustainable and healthy food practices, touching upon engaging examples and innovative solutions.
Food, the core crisis trigger. It seems like the world is crumbling under its own weight, with crises popping up across the globe. The root of these issues is surprisingly simple: our food. The way we consume, produce, and distribute food is causing damage to our health, exacerbating inequality, disrupting communities, and accelerating climate change. To tackle these problems, we need to adopt a comprehensive, holistic approach towards our relationship with food. The world appears to be shattering from all angles. News feeds bombard us with stories about rising death rates, conflicts, and environmental disasters. Amidst all this chaos, it's hard to pinpoint one centralized issue, yet the gravest of problems we face as a species revolve around food. Let's unpack this by examining the crises at hand. First, consider our health. Over the past 4 decades, our eating habits have drastically shifted. We now consume excessive amounts of ultra-processed and sugary foods, leading to severe health consequences. Consequently, heart disease, diabetes, and cancer have skyrocketed, resulting in the deaths of nearly 50 million people annually. Infections aren't even half as lethal. These dire health outcomes were preventable yet have drained trillions of dollars from our pockets. Now, look at inequality. Malnourished children who grow up on ultra-processed and sugary foods face stunted intellectual development, leading to underachievement, poverty, and crime. Poor quality food exacerbates the cycle of inequality exponentially. Switch focus to the communities in developing regions. They endure significant disruption from large agribusinesses and corporations, the so-called big food entities. These powerful forces displace communities from their land, annihilate their traditions, and promote detrimental diet and farming practices. And finally, explore the environmental angle. Current food production methods endanger our planet through their contribution to climate change. Big agribusiness is the largest contributor to this disaster, causing habitat destruction, soil degradation, and the disruption of the natural balance of CO2 absorption. The industry's environmental impact surpasses that of all fossil fuel companies combined. Furthermore, intensive farming drenches the earth with hazardous fertilizers and pesticides, exterminating substantial amounts of wildlife and creating massive oceanic dead zones. Traditionally, we've examined these problems in isolation, categorizing them into separate boxes like bad diet and climate change. However, they all revolve around one central theme: food. To effectively address these issues, we must embrace a wide-reaching, holistic approach toward our entire perception of food production, consumption, and distribution. It's time to delve deeper into the intricate world of food and its role in shaping our society and the environment. The price of unhealthy eating. Our health isn't the only thing at risk when we consume unhealthy foods. The economic consequences are equally alarming. In the United States alone, chronic health conditions have led to astronomical healthcare costs, with over $1 trillion spent in 2016. Indirect costs of lost income, reduced productivity, and caregiving expenses added another $2.6 trillion. Over 35 years, the country might see a staggering $95 trillion in accumulated health costs. Unfortunately, unhealthy eating habits have spread globally, leading to an insurmountable worldwide economic impact. By utilizing those funds differently, we could transform several aspects of society, such as eradicating poverty and investing in renewable energy. The revelation that unhealthy eating causes severe health issues may not come as a surprise. However, our dietary choices also come with a staggering economic impact. Let us delve into the astonishing monetary consequences of poor eating habits. Take the United States as an example. In 2018, two significant reports emerged, namely, the cost of chronic diseases in the U.S. and America's obesity crisis, the health and economic costs of excess weight. They disclosed that the direct expenses associated with chronic health conditions surpassed $1 trillion in 2016. Unhealthy foods are the primary culprits behind these alarming figures. Additionally, indirect costs such as lost income, reduced productivity, and caregiving burdens added $2.6 trillion in 2016. Projected over 35 years, the U.S. might face $95 trillion in accumulated health costs, mainly due to heart disease, diabetes, cancer, mental illness, and other chronic conditions, all linked to poor diets. Moreover, these unhealthy eating habits, including an industrial diet rich in fast food and processed snacks, have created ripple effects worldwide. Consequently, the global economic impact could skyrocket into the quadrillions. Redirecting these astronomical amounts could bring transformative changes to our world. Imagine a scenario where we could provide free education, eliminate poverty, eradicate hunger, ensure social justice, create employment, revolutionize infrastructure, transition to renewable energy, and establish a wholly sustainable agricultural system. The potential for significant global improvements using the staggering funds spent on poor eating habits consequences underscores the need for a healthier approach to our diets. The environmental perils of agribusiness. The demanding practices of big agribusiness contribute directly to environmental destruction. Destructive modern farming techniques are damaging our soil, increasing global warming, contaminating water sources, and threatening vital species. Transitioning to sustainable agricultural practices and changing our dietary habits are essential to mitigate the irreversible damage caused by our current system. When you indulge in that fast food burger or convenient snack, most likely, you don't ponder the environmental impact of these products. And if you did, you might think twice before partaking. The issue at hand is that big agribusinesses, responsible for producing these foods, are creating an environmental catastrophe. Soil plays a vital role in our planet's ecosystem. This living environment is teeming with microbes, fungi, and worms, breaking down dead matter to nourish plants. Healthy soil is essential for crop and animal farming. Yet, intensive farming practices wreak havoc on this delicate environment, with the extensive use of damaging pesticides and fertilizers. As a result, experts estimate we have approximately 60 harvests left on Earth. Furthermore, soil acts as a significant carbon sink, storing CO2. However, intensive agricultural techniques erode the soil, releasing this stored carbon back into the atmosphere, exacerbating global warming. Transforming healthy soil into depleted dirt through destructive farming practices necessitates adding even more nitrogen-based fertilizer. This accumulated fertilizer eventually finds its way from gigantic megafarms into rivers, lakes, and oceans. Once in the water, fertilizers lead to explosive algae growth, which decimates aquatic life and contaminates drinking water. A recent example involves Lake Erie in Cleveland, where a vast algae bloom led to a dead zone and poisoned water in Toledo, Ohio. Our oceans suffer massive dead zones as well, with some reaching 8,000 square miles, roughly the size of New Jersey, taking a toll on marine life. But the effects of intensive agriculture do not stop at just fertilizers. To maintain high crop yields, the use of toxic pesticides is pervasive. These chemicals have been linked to cancer and fertility issues in humans, and they disrupt ecosystems and drive certain species to extinction. Pollinators, such as honeybees and butterflies, are particularly vulnerable. Without these essential creatures, crop production suffers, threatening our food supply, and ultimately, human survival. As grim as it may seem, we still have alternatives. An immediate shift to sustainable farming practices and better dietary choices can potentially stave off the impending disaster. The decision is simple, yet crucial: embrace change towards a sustainable future or risk perishing as a result of our destructive behaviors. Unraveling the Green Revolution. The mid-20th century Green Revolution, with its promise to end world hunger through improved farming practices and agricultural technology, initially made significant strides. Large-scale agriculture did reduce global hunger to a degree, but the dream of eradicating it has unraveled. Despite producing enough food to feed everyone, about 800 million people still experience hunger daily due to the costly beef industry, biofuel production, and waste. The Green Revolution also ushered in issues like soil degradation, negative impacts on water, loss of biodiversity, and climate change. Farmers were promised stable livelihoods but were left struggling with crippling debts from purchasing expensive seeds, fertilizers, and pesticides from big corporations. In India, this led to a tragic spate of farmer suicides since the 1990s. To move forward, a re-evaluation of the Green Revolution's consequences will enable us to explore alternative, more sustainable solutions to global hunger and agriculture. Nourish yourself, sustain Earth. Don't just eat for yourself, but consider the planet when choosing foods to consume. A nutritious and eco-friendly diet emphasizes sustainable farming and resource usage. By focusing on vegetables, responsibly sourced meats and fish, and minimizing dairy, you can work towards creating a balanced and environmentally conscious lifestyle. Imagine that your dietary choices could impact not only your health, but also the well-being of the planet. The good news? They can. By adopting a wholesome, sustainable diet, you're promoting the well-being of both your body and the environment. Embrace foods that align with your health values and are produced with ecological imperatives in mind. Sustainable farming practices prioritize the treatment of soil and conservation of water resources. Opt for a wide variety of vegetables and whole foods that are pesticide-free, ensuring they come from sources that protect these crucial elements. Meat consumption is a complex issue, as it's associated with both health and environmental concerns. Reducing your meat intake is recommended by many dietitians, and vegetables should take up more than half of your plate. While eating less meat does contribute to ecological preservation, don't be too hasty to eliminate it entirely. Animals raised in harmony with organic vegetable farming can enrich the soil, eliminating the need for chemical fertilizers. As long as meat remains a modest component of your diet, it can contribute positively to a sustainable agricultural system. When it comes to fish, make informed choices by selecting sustainably caught options. Look for fish high in omega-3 while being low in mercury, steering clear of unsustainable species like tuna, swordfish, and halibut. Diversify your menu with anchovies, mackerel, and wild-caught salmon to maintain both your health and the planet's. As for dairy, moderation is key. Whenever possible, limit or even avoid dairy consumption. If you cannot resist, choose grass-fed, organic products, preferably from goat and sheep sources over cattle. This is because conventional cattle farming practices are detrimental to the cows, the environment, and human health. However, don't forget that everyone's bodies and dietary requirements are unique. Pay attention to your body's cues and stay committed to sustainably produced foods. By striking a balance between personal health and eco-friendliness, you are securing a brighter future for both yourself and the planet. So, take charge and speak with your fork, make conscious choices for a nourishing and sustainable lifestyle. Fighting unhealthy food giants. Confronting the dominance of unhealthy and unsustainable food corporations is a daunting challenge, but some governments have successfully pushed back against their power. Take, for example, Chile's food labeling and advertising law, which tackled dishonest advertising practices and helped reduce junk food consumption. Similarly, the soda tax in various U.S. cities has curbed sugar intake and funded crucial public projects. These victories showcase that well-crafted policies and popular support can combat the unhealthy influence of big food corporations. The prevalence of unhealthy and unsustainable food continues to grow, and one major hurdle is the influence that large corporations wield. They employ lobbyists to sway policymakers, resorting to gifts and campaign donations to block progressive legislation. Despite their power, there are instances worldwide where resistance against such corporations has triumphed. In Chile, a senator named Guido Girardi decided to tackle the country's health crisis head-on by confronting the food industry's manipulative marketing strategies. Assembling a team of nutrition experts, he drafted the Food Labeling and Advertising Law, which eventually prevailed against staunch opposition from formidable food corporations. Chile's law introduced innovative regulations, including warning labels for products high in sugar, salt, saturated fat, and calories, banning the use of cartoon characters to market junk food to children, restricting junk food advertisement timings and their presence in schools, and mandating responsible advertisements promoting physical activity and healthy eating. The law's effectiveness surpassed previous policies, with children advocating for healthier choices and a significant decline in junk food consumption. Similarly, the U.S. enacted soda taxes in cities like Oakland, San Francisco, and Philadelphia, despite the efforts of the powerful beverage industry to obstruct their implementation. The tax not only achieved its intended purpose of reducing soda consumption but also repurposed the revenue to construct public schools and recreation centers. Witnessing these tangible benefits, the public support for the tax grew substantially. In conclusion, despite the formidable influence of agribusiness and large food corporations, strategic government policies and strong public backing can bring about impressive progress in the fight against unhealthy food practices. Embracing regenerative agriculture. To combat health crises and environmental disasters, embracing regenerative agriculture is essential. By focusing on soil health, adopting no-till methods, rotating and mixing crops, rethinking livestock's role, and practicing dryland farming, we can work towards a sustainable, healthy future for all living beings and the planet. Our eating habits have been revolutionized by government efforts, but now it's time to address the people who grow our food and manage the land. In order to prevent health crises and environmental catastrophes, farmers must shift their strategies and adopt regenerative agriculture, a farming method that emphasizes sustainability and the cultivation of healthy, organic produce. Regenerative agriculture is crucial for both a healthy planet and healthy people, with a primary focus on soil health. Presently, mankind is ensnared in a harmful cycle, depleting organic life within healthy soil and subsequently feeding it with damaging fertilizers. This vicious cycle is neither sustainable for humans nor the environment. So, what can be done to farm without annihilating soil? One solution involves the implementation of no-till methods that leave the ground undisturbed. By using seed drills rather than plowing, soil health is preserved, and rainwater retention is improved since healthy soils are more efficient at holding water. Additionally, rotating and mixing crops allows the soil to recover and prevents the proliferation of diseases and pests that prefer consistent, homogeneous crops. Livestock plays a unique role in regenerative agriculture. For instance, on organic farms, cattle grazing can contribute positively to soil health. Their manure, urine, and saliva naturally stimulate plant growth, strengthen root structures, and boost soil fertility. Just as bison did on American plains for millennia, cattle can foster a symbiotic relationship with soil and plants, demonstrating that following nature's lead is the best way to build a sustainable agricultural system. Moreover, addressing the excessive use of freshwater in modern farming is critical. Dryland farming can offer a solution by growing crops without irrigation. Instead of plowing fields after harvest, farmers leave the leftover stubble in place and plant new crops directly into the remnants. This approach allows the roots and stems to remain intact, reducing evaporation and enabling the field to collect more precipitation and snow than bare ground would allow. By widely adopting regenerative agricultural practices, we can steer our world towards a greener, healthier future that benefits humanity, wildlife, and the environment. Innovative farming revolution. Reginaldo Haslett Marroquin's Main Street Project highlights the success of innovative farming practices, transforming the traditional approach to agriculture. Utilizing agroforestry, free-range poultry is raised within hazelnut tree forests. This practice works with nature rather than against it, generating numerous benefits and byproducts. As a result, these farms become self-sustaining ecosystems that prioritize ecological, economic, and social viability, offering a brighter future for farmers, the environment, and consumers alike. As global concerns surrounding climate change and unhealthy eating habits rise, a new generation of forward-thinking farmers has emerged, embracing innovative practices aimed at fostering sustainability and environmental awareness. One of the forerunners in this movement is Reginaldo Haslett Marroquin of Guatemala, who established the Main Street Project, which has become a symbol of revolutionized farming methodology. At the heart of this project is a unique approach to agriculture called agroforestry. It combines free-range poultry farming with hazelnut tree forests, echoing the natural environment of chickens as jungle fowl. This ingenious technique results in numerous supplementary benefits and byproducts that contribute to a wholly sustainable and efficient system. Hazelnut trees serve multiple purposes, providing natural protection for the chickens from predatory birds while also shading them from the sun. The forest environment promotes plentiful natural food sources, reducing the need for additional feeding and eliminating the use of pesticides. Additionally, the nuts themselves can be sold alongside the eggs or chickens, generating extra income for farmers. In turn, fallen nuts and chicken droppings naturally fertilize the soil, nourishing other crops in the process. These innovative farms develop into complete, self-sustaining ecosystems rather than destructive monocultures. By focusing on multiple crops and nurturing the surrounding environment, this approach far surpasses the capabilities of chemical-laden cornfields or intensive dairy farms. The Main Street Project's ethos is an essential lesson for farmers everywhere. Though maintaining profitability, the long-term focus is on sustainability, recognizing that without it, there will be no viable planet to profit from in the future. Subsequently, these methods are grounded in a threefold manifesto: agriculture must be ecologically, economically, and socially sustainable. By prioritizing the regeneration of human and environmental health over monetary gain, everyone benefits from the process. Farmers enjoy a secure, fulfilling work environment, while chickens live in conditions akin to their natural habitat. The environment flourishes without chemical interference, and ultimately, the entire community thrives. With innovative farming practices like these, a future of sustainable and responsible agriculture is on the horizon.
As we bid farewell to our journey through Food Fix, it's essential to reflect on the pivotal takeaways. Our food choices significantly impact the health of our community, the economy, and our planet. By reconsidering these choices, we can promote regenerative agriculture, inspiring governments and communities to act against corporate and big agribusiness greed. Innovative farming practices, focusing on sustainability and viable ecological, economic, and social solutions, hold the key to revolutionizing our food systems. By understanding and implementing these lessons, we can pioneer systemic changes crucial to maintaining our health, environment, and planet.